Hello and welcome. Welcome everyone to this year's Multicultural Stoling Ceremony. My name is Dr. Ashley Benson. I am the Associate Dean of Students and the Dean for the class of 2021. My pronouns are she, her, hers. The Multicultural Ceremony is one of the most beloved and unique of our graduation rituals, a time when students thank a special person who has significantly impacted them and their ability to succeed while at Wooster. We would be remiss if we did not take a moment to recognize that this has been a challenging and difficult year. The pandemic has affected every corner of the world in profound ways. I would like to take a moment of silence for those who have died from COVID and to recognize the world is still struggling and will forever be changed due to this crisis. Thank you. I would like to also introduce who's standing next to me is Erin Guzman. She is the Interim Director of Religious and Spiritual Life, and her pronouns are she, her, hers. At this time, we would like to welcome to the stage President Sarah Bolton.
Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome. Welcome whether you're here in the room with us today or whether you're gathering with us remotely by video. However you're with us today, we are so glad for this opportunity to celebrate with you. Thank you so much. It's an honor and a pleasure for me to welcome all of you to this Multicultural Stoling Ceremony, at which we have the incredible pleasure of honoring and celebrating the wonderful graduates of the Wooster class of 2021. The students who are gathered here today, both those who are here in person and those who are with us at a distance around the world, have achieved excellent things. They've done that in their academic work, in our campus community, and far beyond the walls of this little campus around the world. They've done so much through a terribly difficult time, and they've persevered through tremendous adversity. It's marvelous to have this chance to honor all of you. We are so proud of all you've done. The years over which these graduates have been in college have been extraordinarily difficult ones. We've seen again and again the deadly impacts of racism and nationalism, and we've seen profound inequities. And we hear increasingly loudly a questioning of the value of communities like ours, communities in which people come together from across the country and around the world with a purpose of learning together, of listening to experiences beyond their own, of growing in understanding, of connecting in transformative friendships, and of preparing for lives of purpose. The questioning of communities like ours misses something incredibly important. It misses the excellence of these students and the extraordinary importance and power of what they do. So let me be clear. These graduates who are with us remotely, they are foundational to our college. We can only be the college that we aspire to be. We can only be a college that provides a superb education and a college that prepares students to make an impact in the world if we listen to the voices of these students, if we take them seriously. By raising your voices, by sharing your brilliance, by working together, you, all of you students here today in the class of 2021, you have made Wooster better in ways that will last long after you graduate, in ways that will last for decades. And you are the beacon that points the way into our future. I am so, so grateful to all of you, students, and also to all of you, staff, faculty, families, friends, and alumni, all of you who have supported these students. Because the wonderful achievements of these students come, of course, from their brilliance and their dedication, but also the great things that they do now and the great things that they will do in their futures is also very much all of your love made visible in their lives. The individual and collective contributions of the students that we honor here today are superb. They're scholars and musicians, artists, poets, scientists, authors, and leaders, as well as athletes and activists, partners, and of course, great friends. This is a brilliant community of students who together have made meaning of everything from ancient texts to new experiments to art to the current events of our world. This community has done sacred and powerful work, and they're going to make a tremendous impact in the world after they graduate. We are so fortunate, graduates, to have had you here with us at the College of Wooster, and we're going to miss you so, so much after you graduate tomorrow. I want to give you my most heartfelt congratulations for all of the extraordinary things you've achieved and on the occasion of your graduation. Congratulations, Wooster Class of 2021. We wish you every joy in the journeys ahead. So now, I know, let's clap for these people. You're amazing. You really are, and we all know it. So now, it's my great pleasure to introduce another amazing person, Milo Parker Emerson, who graduated from the College of Wooster in 2019. We're so delighted to have Milo here with us today. Milo was a philosophy major at the college, and while on campus, Milo worked as an archer, a writing consultant, a peer mentor, a leader in the QPOC executive board, and in many, many other roles as a tremendous leader and friend and partner to so many students and advancing the college in lots and lots of ways. Right now, they work in the Schuler Scholar Program in Chicago as a reading and writing coach to high school students. And in the fall, Milo plans to go to a master's program in graduate school. They have several choices for graduate school options. That means that graduate schools are paying attention, like, yes, bring excellent people to your institution. One of Milo's options is to go to Loyola University for a master's in cultural and educational policy studies with a focus on social justice and philosophy in education. And if you know Milo, you know that Milo should be running that program. But at first, they will, go and study there out of respect. So it is a delight and an honor to welcome Milo to our stage to speak from the perspective of an alumnus. Welcome, Milo.
Hello, everyone. Thanks for the loud cheer. Not necessary, but appreciated. It is super exciting, but mostly weird to be here. And thank you to Kayla for thinking of me to speak. And thank you to President Bolton for your kind words. Last time I was speaking at one of these commencement events was when I was graduating in 2019. And to be completely honest with you all, I don't remember a damn thing I said. But I do know I talked about philosophy. But at the time, that's what made most sense to me. But some of the things that made sense to me then don't always make sense to me now. and some of the lessons I refused to learn then are now clearer than ever. Perspective is a funny thing because we only really consider it after the fact. I think a lot of people don't like to talk about what life is like on the other side of graduation. It's a lot about what you've done and not a ton about what life is like outside of college. I remember right before graduation and being so unsure of everything and myself. But being at graduation, every ceremony, even this one, made me feel more sure of myself and what I had accomplished and whatever the future would bring. I want to share a moment with you all from my post-grad life that made me question it all. I was fortunate enough to have a job lined up post-graduation. I remember my first week clearly too. I got the opportunity to help students grow into themselves through education. But not only that, my boss was a Black woman. As soon as I left work that day, I called my mom and was like, "Mom, my boss is a Black woman. Can you believe that?" I was so excited to work for someone just like me and just like her. For a period of time, I was on a team of only people of color working with students who looked just like us, that look like a lot of you right now. I have never, in my 22 years at the time, have experienced or seen anything like it. I felt so confident and like I really did it, like I really made something of myself, that I belonged there, that every experience at Wooster, good and bad, led me to that moment. One day that week, we had a meeting with the administration of the organization, presenting on the past academic year. My boss, myself, and 2 other team members were sitting on one side of the table, and on the other side was a team of administrators, all white people, one of which was the COO, who is now a billionaire, by the way. I know each and every one of us can remember moments where we felt like a space wasn't meant for us because of who we are or where we came from. This was a huge moment for me. I remember being at that table. I was sweaty, I was nervous, I could hardly bring myself to speak up. And for the first time in a long time, I doubted myself, my accomplishments, my abilities. I had forgotten some of the lessons that I had learned from my time at Wooster. Why did I let those people make me feel like that? Like I didn't deserve a seat at the table, like I wasn't just as qualified, if not more, than everyone else there. Through that experience, the most important takeaway from that story, I think, is not necessarily the fact that I felt that way, but more about what I did after. I called someone. In that moment, I forgot who I was. So I called someone who I knew believed in me and could help me feel like I belong, but could also help me navigate which tables I even want to sit at. For me, that person is Kayla, and I know that she is that person for a lot of you here too. College is such a unique and special place because somehow along the way, through it all, you find yourself and you find your place. Or maybe you're still searching, but at least now you have an idea about where to look. Right now I work with high school students, and these kids are looking for a way to fit in, to be accepted, to create a space, to not only be themselves, but figure out what that even means. And I'm not saying this search ever ends, but what I'm saying is that college is so special because somehow, coincidentally, you met someone or other people who you felt comfortable enough to share yourself with. You found connections in a society that called you other, that called you different. You found and created a home in a place that tells you to go back to where you come from. And what's more is that here you found someone or are here with someone who believes in you. How amazing it is to be believed in. You all have had the hardest of years. Some of you have had loved ones who you haven't gotten to see in over a year, people you love who have passed away, and maybe people you didn't even get to say goodbye to. This commencement weekend, many people will be talking at you about the struggles you faced and how you've overcome them. But here and now, in this moment, I want to remind you all that with everything you have faced and everything you will eventually go through, you do not have to struggle alone. You don't have to. Even if you're a Virgo, you don't have to struggle alone. Find your people and hold them close. So today we celebrate you and our people who have constantly celebrated us. Thank you.
Milo, thank you. Thank you for your words. I absolutely enjoyed getting to know Milo while Milo was here as a student, and had opportunities to do breakfast periodically. And so one of the sad things is that our breakfast spot is now a dinner spot, so we couldn't do breakfast. But I've pictures that I go back to often where I'm like, I remember this time, and now Milo's all grown doing stuff. And so that makes me proud. A proud dean to see that. So we will now go into our stoling ceremony. Before we begin, I just want to provide some logistical information. Aaron Guzman will be reading information, the student, along with the stoler's name and some brief words provided by the student about their stoler. There will be some stolers and or some students or a combination thereof who are not in person but are virtual. And so for that reason, our ceremony is hybrid. And so there may be times where I, the person who will be handing the stoler the stole, will stand in proxy. So imagine their stoler stoling them. And if the student isn't here, then we will pretend like the student is here. And then for those who are just totally virtual, we will still read their information and acknowledge them because they are still a part of this celebration. The other thing is you will see a slide show that will go along with the presentation that will take place up here on the screen behind us. So I want to make sure that you are aware of that as well. And with that said, I will yield the mic to Aaron.
All right. Our first graduate is Aditi Chaubey, who will be stoled by Carol Noble on behalf of Rakhi and Manesh Chaubey. Aditi says, "My best friends, my mentors, and the most important people in my life, my parents, have given me everything I could ever need or want. They have taught me to be independent, but also have fun along the way. Infinite thank yous would not do justice the amount of gratitude I feel for them. I just want to say that I love you, I miss you, and this is all for you." Our next graduate is Alight Isaac. And Alight stoler is engineer Salamawit Amaha. Alight says, "You've raised me to be everything I am, and I am glad to always make you proud. Love you, Ziadeh." Our next graduate is Alexis Sotelo. With stoler Professor Alvaro Corral. Alexis states, "Although these last 3 years haven't been the easiest, you taught me the importance of improvement and work ethic. Though there were times where I thought I couldn't make it, you kept pushing me to never give up. I am grateful for your full support throughout my academic years and for always checking up on me whenever I felt overwhelmed. It is through your support that I have been able to make several improvements, not just academically, but also as an individual. Thank you. Our next graduate is Amelia Kemp. Stoled by Beth Garrison Kemp. Amelia says, "My mama is the single greatest influence on who I am today. She is unconditionally loving and supportive, and she will always chat with me on the phone, whether it's for an hour or for 15 minutes. She has pushed me to grow and helped me break through my mental boundaries, and I am so thankful for that. Thank you for being my biggest cheerleader, always having my back, and always selflessly being there for your family. I love you so much and would not be here graduating without you." Our next graduate is Angela Danzo-Jane. Angela is being stoled today by Professor Ibrahim. Angela says, "Professor Ibrahim is a professor and advisor who has always been there for me, even when it requires an intervention." Our next graduate is Anura Namashivaya. Who is stoled today by Professor David McConnell. Anura states, "Professor McConnell has made a great impact on myself and others. After taking his courses, I realized my love for culture and research in understanding the world around me. I became an anthropology major because Professor McConnell's Intro to Anthropology class and was immersed in the passion that he showed for his research and discussion of the development of human societies and social behaviors. I would like to give thanks to Professor McConnell for everything he has done for me and his support with my research. Professor McConnell, you have inspired me throughout my college experience and have contributed so much to my education here at Wooster and in my future endeavors. I appreciate the amazing work you have done and how much your knowledge has molded me from a student into becoming a young adult. You have inspired me to continue a career in the social sciences, and I can only thank you for all the wisdom you have given me and other students. That is an inspiration to all students who aspire to understand the world in which we live. I hope to become as wise and inspirational to others as you have been to me." Our next graduate is Artemis Schiesem, stoled by Christina Schiesem. Artemis says, "My mother has taught me resilience and the mental toughness to push through any adversity that comes in my life. She is the person I admire the most and has always and also been the most consistent figure, making her my true hero. As I have gone through college, my main drive to finish has not just been to make myself self-sufficient, but also to see her smile of pride when I receive my diploma. As of recent, I have seen my mother battle through circumstances that I'd never wish on a family or a mother of children, but her warrior spirit shines best when she is up against a wall. I couldn't honestly say where I would be without her, but I do know that every day I am grateful that Christina Schiesem is the woman that I can call my rock and my mother." Our next graduate is Ostrella Bailey. Ostrella will be stoled by Dean Ashley Benson on behalf of Rosalie Bailey. Ostrella says, "Thank you so much for all the support you have given me throughout my 4 years here. I am so blessed to have you and the rest of my family always rooting for me. All the things I have accomplished and will accomplish in the future are for you. Thank you so much. I love you guys." Our next graduate is Brianna Harrell. And Brianna's stoler is Eileen Olmo. Brianna says, "I chose my mother to be my stoler because this woman has went through great lengths to support me through school. She is a woman who has faced many hardships in life, but she always made her way out of a bad situation. I got to experience everything she has had to face for 22 years, and I can truly say that she is the strongest woman I have ever met. She pushes me to be a better person, but also supports any decisions that I make because she knows that is how I learn best. I have made many mistakes in life, and she has shown me how to adapt to different situations. My mother has taught me how to be an independent woman even when I have to make tough decisions, and it is because of her strength that I have been motivated enough to make it to this day and will be graduating on May 8th. Gracias, mi amor, te amo." Our next graduate is Cameron Bragg. Today, Cameron is being stoled by Professor Laura Surratt. Cameron states, "Dr. Laura Surratt is an associate professor of biology at the College of Wooster, but over the last 4 years, she has been so much more than that to me. I had the pleasure of meeting Dr. Surratt when she served as the club advisor for minorities in STEM. Though I never had a class with her, she always made sure I knew her door was open, and she was willing to provide me with any support over the years to come. Throughout my time at Wooster, I've grown to trust her, and she has always been available to help me through my personal and academic challenges by providing me with new perspectives. She has taught me invaluable lessons of teamwork and overcoming conflict, as well as dedicated so much of her time to making sure I feel seen. Dr. Surratt, I am so grateful our paths have crossed here at Wooster, and I will carry out the lessons you taught me with your wedding kaleidoscope throughout my life. Thank you for being a safe space for me and others here on campus." Our next graduate is Carlos de Santiago. Carlos is being stoled today by Pedro Cosera. Carlos says, "To my grandfather who raised me and still raises me every day, whether it's learning about our Cuban heritage or talking about how much he hates communists or the weeds on our lawn, I learn from him every day. My grandfather always told me education is the only thing no one can take away from you. Money can come and go, but education is forever. I have so much to dedicate to my grandfather, so thank you, Grandpa." The last part was that he would also say, "Conejo con, take it easy." Our next graduate is Catalina Valdez. Catalina is being stoled by Ernesto Valdez. Catalina says, "My parents have done so much for their family and continue to do so. I was fortunate enough to have my mom be present at many school functions and seeing my dad after he came home from work, to him telling me he was so proud of his gorda. Their unconditional support and love for me over the last 22 years is one of the reasons I have stayed at Wooster. I have tried my best because they are trying their best. Los quiero, mami y papi. Gracias por todo." Our next graduate is Kaitlyn Clark. Katera is being stoled today by Kaitlyn Mahone. Katera says, "I have known Kaitlyn since I was 13 years old and joined the summer program that brought me to Wooster. But throughout my time at the college, she has not only done her job as my Learning Center advisor, but also as a mentor and friend. If there's anything I need, she was always there to help me. She gave me rides home when I couldn't get there in times of need, and words of wisdom when I didn't know I needed to hear them. Kaitlyn has showed me what it looks like to come from Youngstown, Ohio, to the bubble of Wooster, and what it looks like to navigate and succeed post-graduation. I truly believe my experience here would have been different if I didn't have my weekly appointments in the LC with Kaitlyn and just a text away whenever I had random questions or needs. She is underrated and highly appreciated by me, and I use her every day as an inspiration to be strong, focused, and to not be afraid to venture into the world outside of Wooster and Youngstown after graduation." Our next graduate is Cesar Oswaldo Lopez. Cesar is being stoled today by Dean Jennifer Bowen. Cesar says, "Jen Bowen, or Mama J as we know her and refer to her in Posse 10, has been my lifeline on this campus. Mama J has gone above and beyond her role as a Posse mentor time and time again. Her willingness to do so, whether consciously or not, is a testament to how she advocates for her students at any and every opportunity. Mama J has been caring and patient with me these past 4 years as I've grown to be the man I am today. She has been by my side this whole time, has seen me at my best and at my worst. She's listened to my rants and embraced me when I've cried. Thank you for welcoming me and my posse into your home and family. It has been an honor to get to know you and them. These are connections I will forever cherish beyond Wooster." Our next graduate is Giovanni Prashana. Duwani is being stoled today by Jitendra Prashana and Rupal Prashana. Duwani says, "My parents have been an important part of my life and have contributed to my success, not just academically, but also professionally. They have always had my back, supported each and every decision I have made. I could not have been here today without their support. I love you both, and I want to make you both so proud." Our next graduate is Giovanni Bravo. Giovanni's stoler is Professor John Valdez. Giovanni says, I would like to acknowledge Dr. John Valdez for his continued support and guidance. Throughout my time of knowing Dr. Valdez, he has continuously provided significant encouragement and assistance toward my academic work, especially my independent study, and towards myself personally. I appreciate the knowledge I've gained from working with him, not only through my coursework, but also through the expertise he's shared during the IS process. I also greatly value his willingness to support and advocate for my desired pursuit of academic direction and development. Thank you immensely, Dr. Valdez. Our next graduate is Indigo Kwashi. Today, Indigo is being stoled by Robert Kwashi. Indigo says, my dad has been so important in my success at Wooster. During my freshman year, he reminded me that it was okay that I had a failed class. Not only has Robert been making sure I keep eating healthy snacks instead of candy, my dad checked in to make sure my mental health was all right. He makes me feel more secure in my postgraduate plans and trusts me to open up about his own college experiences and lessons. I'm so very proud to have been supported by him, and am more proud to have him as my stoler. Our next graduate is Isabella Ilievsky. Isabella is stoled today by Professor Megan Wehrle. Isabella says, Dr. Megan Wehrle has been an amazing mentor, both academically and emotionally. She has supported my passions and encouraged my growth and development as a learner. Dr. Wehrle provided priceless advice, allowing me to develop my own sense of self and interests. She always believed in my potential, which gave me the confidence to pursue a variety of opportunities. She helped me plan and achieve a double major with education and psychology, and a study abroad experience, admittance into multiple master's programs. Importantly, she has never made a decision for me, but rather expanded my own thoughts and helped me understand what I was already thinking. She has inspired me to use all of my life experiences to shape who I can become. Dr. Wehrle has positively impacted my time at Wooster, and I will be forever grateful. Our next graduate is Jackie Perez. Jackie is being stoled today by Professor Carrie Culver. Jackie says, Dr. Culver, I've met many powerful women in my life, but none who compare to you. The way that you care and the way that you push me to be better every day has made me want to continue to fight. My experience at Wooster wouldn't have been the same without you by my side, and I can easily say that you have changed my life in a way that I never thought was possible. Thank you for never letting me give up and for always giving me the hardest time, literally. I am forever grateful to have learned from a person like you. Our next graduate is Janelle Booker. Janelle is being stoled today by Professor Jennifer Faust. Jennifer Faust is an assistant professor of chemistry and Janelle's academic advisor of 3 years. She is highly awarded and exceptional atmospheric chemist. Dr. Faust earned her PhD within 5 years of earning her bachelor's and has earned a variety of highly competitive research grants, including a National Science Foundation grant of over $500,000. Yeah. Beyond her exceptional academic and research performance as a professor at the college, Dr. Faust is considerate, kind, and down to earth with a lighthearted sense of humor. Concerned about student well-being and academic outreach, she has mentored low-income college students since beginning her doctorate and is always ready with the resources necessary to better her students' performance. During her time as an advisor, Dr. Faust presented Janelle with a variety of research and conference opportunities that have developed Janelle into the research chemist she is today. She is an exceptional model at Wooster, presenting consideration and hard work as pillars in her early career and lighting the torch for many junior scientists, including Janelle. Our next graduate is Jillian Kuyara. Jillian is stoled today by Jean Didier Kuyara. Jillian says, I have chosen my father, Jean Didier Kuyara, to be my stoler for the courage, intellect, love, and perseverance he has shown and instilled in me. Furthermore, his support throughout my lifetime is a blessing that I will forever hold close to my heart. I have the deepest admiration for him as my father is the most honorable man I know. Although I was only allowed one guest to be up here with me, I would also like to express my infinite love and appreciation for my mother, Nancy Kane Kuyara, as well. Throughout my life and my college career, she has been a beacon of empowerment. Additionally, she has provided me a beautiful life filled with light, wisdom, and knowledge that has made me the woman I am today. And I can only hope to become more of a reflection of the woman she is. I am incredibly blessed to be their daughter. It is an honor to have my mother present and for my father to present my stole and represent my Black and Ivorian heritage as I achieve this significant milestone. Our next graduate is Joseph Nasser. Joseph is stoled today by Ayed Nassar. Joseph says, my father has always encouraged me to pursue education wholeheartedly. Learning about his experience immigrating to the United States demonstrated to me his determination and resourcefulness, and he taught me that with hard work, anything can be achieved. As my mentor, he inspired me to apply these values in my own life, and he has been a constant source of support for me throughout my college career. I am forever grateful for the role my father has played as mentor, friend, and pillar of support in my life. My only hope is that my time and achievements here at the College of Wooster make him proud. Our next graduate is Catherine Fong. Catherine is stoled today by Tessa Hall. Catherine says, Tessa has been there for me throughout my IS journey. She has been there to calm my nerves about edits, listen to me rant about school, and even just to talk about dogs. Tessa truly has guided me through writing my IS and has graciously met with me even after her workday was over. She is a wonderful person with such a kind spirit, and I could not have done this without her. Thank you for your expertise and everything you have done for me. You are so appreciated, and I can't thank you enough. Our next graduate is Katie Sarsoza. Katie's stoler is Jorge Sarsosa. Katie states, "My dad has been such an important part of my journey to success at the College of Wooster. He came to the United States with nothing and began building from the ground up. I am so thankful for him and how he has helped to motivate me. I am grateful to God for giving me a dad like him. He's my hero. I love you." Our next graduate is Keon Scott. Keon's stoler today is Sarah Ozar. Keon says, "Sarah Ozar has been someone who has guided me from my very first visit here on campus. Her kindness and desire to make people feel comfortable is unmatched. She has always been here to listen to me complain about long hours of homework, but also here to tell me I can do it." Our next graduate is Kitty Tafese. Kitty's stoler is Professor Ibra Seen. Kitty says, "Dr. Ibra Seen has been a guiding hand, a mentor, and a great teacher in the past 4 years. Beyond that, he has been a solid and constant reminder of what it means to be an African and helped maintain the strength of my identity and heritage. Having someone in academia who is not only a friendly face, but also challenges and pushes you to widen the scope of your thought process was a quintessential component of my college experience. Being given the opportunity to take some of his courses and work as a teaching assistant afterwards has been a great experience and has shaped a good amount of how I place myself within the context of work and education. Most importantly, I would like to thank Dr. Seen for being an image of strength and perseverance that is worth pursuing in my own life, and for being a source of wise words and encouragement." Our next graduate is Laura Haley. Laura's stoler is Brian Haley. Laura says, "Dad, thank you for encouraging me throughout my 4 years. You've helped me think critically both in and outside of the classroom. Most importantly, you've helped me understand the importance of doing something I love. Even if I don't tell you enough, your support does not go unnoticed." Our next graduate is Laura Montoya. Today, Laura is being stoled on behalf of Professor Hernan Mendina. Laura says, "In college, it can be difficult to not let feelings of imposter syndrome sink in. Thankfully, about once every couple of weeks between my sophomore and junior years, my Spanish professor at the time, Professor Medina, would call me into his office to ask how I was doing and provide me with some academic guidance and words of encouragement. The first time this happened, Professor Medina asked me, 'Have you ever thought about becoming a peer learning assistant?' I was pretty surprised since peer learning assistants are student tutors. I ended up applying for the position, getting accepted, and working as a Spanish tutor for a while after, which is something I don't think I would have considered as a possibility for myself without his suggestion. Every other time he asked me into his office, the topic of conversation was somewhat the same, Have you started looking at summer internships? Here's an opportunity I think might work well for you. Have you found a job on campus yet? I can write you a letter of recommendation if you need it. What are your plans after graduation? Here's what I did for grad school and how I paid for it. I think it's something you could easily do as well. I believe Professor Medina saw a lot of potential in me that I had not been able to see in myself then. And although I repaid him by dropping my Spanish minor, I will always appreciate the push he gave me to believe in myself as a student, a scholar, and in my future academic and career-related prospects. Our next graduate is Leslie Chinry. Leslie's stoler today is Marina Panel. Leslie says, I believe in guardian angels and fairy godmothers because of you. You have been my mentor, my inspiration, my therapist, my personal cheerleader, and my guide. For the times you let me cry in your office, thank you. For the times you put me on platforms I thought were above me, thank you. For the times you were present and just listened, thank you. As my mentor and fairy godmother, I hope I made you proud. Our next graduate is Lilia Federico. Lilia's stoler is Professor Zareen Thomas. Lilia says, Dr. Thomas has encouraged me throughout the last 2 years to open my eyes to different perspectives in both anthropology and women's gender and sexuality studies that I had not been exposed to throughout my education. Seeing a woman of color be so successful at a higher education institution made me realize how much I had been wanting to see that. Dr. Thomas is somehow able to be both professional and personable at the same time, and always listens to her students with compassion and empathy. She has helped me realize how much I would like to be the kind of role model she is for me to someone else someday. Thank you, Dr. Thomas. I'm so glad other students get the absolute pleasure of being your student, and I can't wait to see what you do next here. Our next graduate is Lisbeth Acevedo. Lisbeth's stoler is Yvette Ortiz. Lisbeth states, Mom, thank you for loving me all these years. Your love and compassion has given me the strength and confidence to succeed in anything I put my mind to. You are my constant motivation to do my absolute best, regardless of how difficult it may be. Your words of encouragement have always been present to me, especially when I am stressed, frustrated, or just not having a good day. Because of this, all that I have accomplished so far is thanks to you and Dad. Without the sacrifices you've made, I would not be who I am today. I am proud to be your daughter, and I am grateful to have had you, Dad, and Alexis as my family. So I thank you with all of my heart. Gracias, los amos mucho. Our next graduate is Madeline Cobb. Madeline is being stoled today on behalf of Kim Green. Madeline says, Kim Green influenced me greatly my sophomore year of college. Whether it came to organizational business with the Black Women's Association, career planning, or personal things, Kim was always a supportive, easygoing person to work with. They never failed to offer advice, praise, and constructive criticism during the truly tumultuous time that was my sophomore year. They encouraged me to believe in myself and act upon those beliefs by putting myself out there. I appreciate the mentor Kim Green was to me my sophomore year, because without them, I would not be here today. Our next graduate is Marcel Elkoury. Marcel is being stoled today by Victor Elkoury. Marcel says, "When my father immigrated to the United States, he worked tirelessly to build a life for himself, his wife, and his children. Papi always tells me, hay que poner las pilas. You have to put in your batteries to achieve what you desire. You have to work for it. I know I've made him proud by making it this far, and it would be unjust to celebrate my successes without sharing them with him. This stole represents my mixed heritage and honors my father's own mixed background. Brazil for mommy, Colombia for papi, and this Lebanese nose for abuela." Our next graduate is Marissa Tate. Marissa is being stoled today by Kara Melrose. Marissa says, "Kara was the first person at the college who told me she believed in me. She has watched me grow from a quiet first-year student who didn't believe in herself to someone that takes pride in her abilities to speak up when something needs to be changed. I truly do not know where I would be today without Kara. She has been one of the most important people in my Wooster career, and I am so happy we crossed paths. Kara, thank you for all the love, support, and encouragement you have given me these past few years. You are truly the reason I am the Marissa people know today. I will miss you so, so much." Our next graduate is Marlena Harris. Marlena is being stoled today by Professor Erzsébet Regan. Marlena says, "Dr. Regan has been an amazing influence on me during my last few semesters on campus at the College of Wooster. Although I have only known Dr. Regan for little over a year, she has been a crucial mentor to me by making an impactful experience through her advising and teaching. When I first came to the college, I did not think I belonged in the STEM field, but once I met Dr. Regan, she encouraged me to push myself beyond my own limits. Her passion for her students' successes is inspirational, and she has shown me that I am capable in being an accomplished scientist. She has never once doubted my ability in STEM, and I am extremely grateful for all the support throughout these final semesters." Our next graduate is Maya Rodemer. Maya is being stoled today by Dorta Junker. Maya says, "I have always looked up to my mom, not just during my 4 years at Wooster, but throughout my entire life. Thank you for always believing in me, especially during times I didn't, and providing me with countless messages of love and strength. Thank you also for encouraging me to embrace this German-American Asian identity and the weird food combinations that it has inspired. Your support means everything. Danke. Our next graduate is Mayan Asan Ali. Mayan is being stoled today by President Bolton on behalf of Chaudhry Muhammad Ramzan. Mayan says, "I wish you were here, Papa. I owe everything to you. I love you." Our next graduate is Michelle Sayer. Michelle is stoled today by Kate Gulata. Michelle writes, "With an immeasurable amount of gratitude, I recognize Kate Gulata as an individual who has been a vital part of my success at the College of Wooster. Kate has been a mentor, a friend, and occasionally a therapist during my 4 years at the college. She has seen me grow from a confused first year who really should have not taken chemistry to a young woman ready to tackle what the world has to offer her. Since October 23rd of 2017, Kate has motivated me, guided me, and supported me through the good and the bad decisions of college life. The impact she has made in all aspects of college or not is nothing short of incredible, and I owe much of my success to her. My gratitude is and will never be ending for helping me through this journey, and for that I say thank you." Our next graduate is Mika Yonaha. Mika is stoled today by Carla Reyes. Carla Reyes has known me since before my freshman year began. We met in English Engagement Seminar, which is the intensive English course for non-native English speakers to prepare for their college life before their first semester starts. When I first met with Carla, I couldn't speak English fluently. I always spoke really slowly, I would get confused about grammar, and sometimes made up weird, or let's say very creative, English words. However, Carla always patiently listened to me and corrected my English. She made me feel like it was okay to make mistakes and taught me that the most important thing is trying to communicate with people even though my English was not perfect. Even after the English Engagement Seminar was finished, she has supported me a lot. I always went to her office when I have paper assignments, big presentations, or even some difficulties with English conversation with my friends. I especially remember the presentation practice with her for my public speaking class. The presentation was about what the best breakfast for our body is. I practiced literally again and again in front of her so that now breakfast always reminds me of her in that presentation. Carla supported me not only as my English tutor, but also as my mom in Wooster. When I'm having a really hard time, Carla has always been there for me and understood me. I talked with her about my dance team I founded, relationships with people, and my future path, all about my life. She has watched me grow as a non-native English speaker, as a college student, and as a person. Huge thanks and my love to Carla. Our next graduate is Millie Barai. Millie is being stoled today by Sophia Biko-Lesen on behalf of Sangeeta and Bharat Barai. Millie says, I would like to express my deepest gratitude to Mom and Dad for always supporting me emotionally, financially, and giving me all the love in the world. Coming to Wooster and being so far from home would not have been possible without both of you behind me. Our next graduate is Mayana Incarnato. Mayana's stoler today is Rachel David. Mayana says, Rachel shows me every day what it means to show up as my true self and to always have the courage to express myself authentically. She has been a dedicated mentor, faithful listener, and I pray a lifelong friend. She has seen me through my best and my worst during my 4 years here and has welcomed me gracefully on the other side of each mountain. She has instilled in me the value of showing up for yourself and being authentic. These good times, hard lessons, and office time chats are messages that deserve to be preserved and told for generations. Thank you for being you and for believing in me always. Our next graduate is Natalia Para. Natalia's stoler today is Yvonne Diaz. Natalia says, my mom and father are the reason I have such a bright future ahead of me. Their sacrifices gave me the opportunity and desire to also keep looking toward the horizon while remembering my roots and where I come from. My parents have been a rock in my life, and I owe them everything I am today. Our next graduate is Oscar Carmona. Oscar is being stoled today on behalf of Maria Luisa Arriaga. Oscar says, my mother, above all, has been super supportive and helpful through my college career. She has always pushed me to do my best. I am extremely thankful for all of the sacrifices that she has done in order to provide for her family in the US and in Mexico. She is someone I look up to, and I wish to someday follow the values that she has taught me. She is truly an inspiration to me. Our next graduate is Paige Clay. Paige is being stoled today on behalf of Professor Josephine Wright. Paige says, we meet dozens of people every day, but most don't make the impact that Dr. Josephine Wright has made on myself and countless other students. After taking her courses, I quickly realized my passion for Africana studies and how essential it would be to my studies overall. I became an Africana major because of Professor Wright's Racism 101 class and was moved by the immense drive she showed. I would like to thank Dr. Josephine Wright for everything she has done for me. You have been an integral part of my college experience and have contributed so much to my understanding of the world and myself. I not only admire your intelligence and strength, but also the grace and the kindness you display with every student you teach. You are so inspiring, and I can only hope to accomplish half of what you have accomplished and be a source of inspiration for other Black women in academia. Our next graduate is Priscila Ramos Rico. Priscilla is being stoled today by Cindy Ramos Rico. Priscilla says, "Thank you for always being there for me and understanding me whenever I need someone to talk to. You have always been there for me since we were little. You are and will always be my best friend and role model. You are always an inspiration to me and have shown me to never give up when things get hard, and that if I set my eyes on something, I can achieve it. I know that no matter how far away we are from each other, that you are just a phone call or a text away. I love you so much, Cindy." Our next graduate is Rhonda Ubode. Rhonda is being stoled today by Aram Ubode. Rhonda says, "Aram gave me the space to grow, the love to heal, and the support to achieve my dreams. She is my role model, my safe space, and my other half. Without her, I would not be the person I am today, nor would I haven't made it this far in my academics. Thank you for being my best friend, soulmate, and moon." Our next graduate is Rita Shibub. Rita's stoler is Professor Brooke Krause. Rita says, "Dr. Krause is an incredibly kind, intelligent, and empathetic person. She is one of the first people to have made me feel seen, which is something I struggled with growing up in an environment where one's worth boiled down to their grades and gender. She truly allowed me to embrace my experiences as a Moroccan woman and use them to advocate for positive change. Without her, I would have never been able to undertake such a provocative topic for my IS, and my imposter syndrome may have been significantly worse than it is today. Wooster is lucky to have her. WIGME is lucky to have her. The realm of development economics is lucky to have her. Thank you for being an awesome professor, mentor, advisor, and support system." Our next graduate is Saeed Hussein. Saeed's stoler today is Zachary Hassenjäger. Saeed says, "Coach Hassenjäger represents all of the qualities that I believe are essential in living a fulfilling life. His intense passion for tennis makes me believe so strongly that one should only pursue the things they love. With his competitive spirit and never say die attitude, Coach would have excelled in any field of his choosing, but I am so glad that he chose tennis and that we could meet at Wooster. His love for tennis has been infectious. I would have never thought that as I'm leaving Wooster, I am only becoming more passionate about tennis, watching obscure matches, reading countless articles, and of course, edging to play. His mentorship on and off the court has been so inspiring, and he deserves so much credit by how he recommended me for positions both in and outside of Wooster. It has made being at Wooster as a Fighting Scot deeply rewarding. As we leave Wooster on our separate paths, I will fondly remember the times that we had on the courts, both at 6 a.m. and at 10 p.m., and constantly wish that they were longer." Our next graduate is Serene Abdullah Kebe. Serene is being stoled today by Professor Lee McBride. Serene says, although there are many people who have contributed to my success, Lee McBride played a vital role in my last year of college. Working with him on my IS has granted me skills and insight that will be useful for a lifetime. I thank him for pushing me beyond my own academic expectations and providing guidance when I needed it the most. Our next graduate is Shivam Kaisi. Shivam is stoled today by Professor Marion Fraser. Shivam says, I remember the day I fell in love with data science. I was a sophomore in college and had just discovered that I could apply statistical methods to use my passion of finding patterns in randomness and predicting in a systematic way to find key insights from big data. The discovery was made in Dr. Fraser's applied stats class, where I loved her enthusiasm when she was teaching us. She made me fall in love with the class material, and as a result, I changed my major from computer science to mathematics, and later, when it was available, a minor to statistical and data sciences. From her, I have loved that simplicity is the key. Our next graduate is Sosena Hailo Chayali. Sosie is being stoled today by Professor Garrett Thompson. Sosie says, Professor Thompson played a large role in my success in Wooster. He consistently encouraged my pursuit of philosophy. He encouraged me when I wanted to double major. He encouraged me to be a better philosopher and was always willing to talk to me about my country and how it is different from being here in the States. All in all, Professor Thompson was one of the most supportive faculty members I've encountered. Thank you. Our next graduate is Stachelle Harris. Stachelle is stoled today by Dean Jennifer Bowen. Stachelle says, Dean Bowen, AKA Mama J, has been more than just a posse mentor. She has been a second mom, a home away from home, and an irreplaceable advocate. There have been many bumps in the road and times when I thought the only option was to leave Wooster. Mama J did not let that happen and moved mountain and valley to make sure I had all the tools necessary to not only finish, but finish strong. I love you, Mama J, and thank you for agreeing to be a lifetime mentor for me and my posse family. Our next graduate is Tong Tong Wu. Tong Tong is stoled today by Coach Lisa Campanile Comara. Tong Tong, who was, Tong Tong is stoled by Coach Lisa, who has mentored Tong Tong through the past 4 years at Wooster on the women's golf program. Coach Lisa has taught Tong Tong to be a strong and powerful leader while inspiring her to overcome all the hardships on the golf course and during practice. Our next graduate is Victor Villanueva. Victor's stoler is Cindy Gutierrez. Victor says, "Mom, you've always sacrificed everything to make sure that I had something. Anyone may come and go, but our bond is unshakable today and always. Thank you for being my best friend, my guide, and everything I've ever needed." Our next graduate is Yuta Nitanai. Yuta is stoled today by Kayla Campbell and on behalf of Dean Jill Monroe. Yuta says, "I met Jill on my first day at Wooster. My English skills were very poor when I got here, but it didn't take me any time to realize how amazing you are, not only as a staff member, but also as a person. You are the staff member who I interrupted the most during working hours throughout my college life, and I hope you never felt too bothered. We have had a lot of conversations and shared personal stories over the last 4 years, and you have given me a comfy space to figure out my life and consider my values. Your encouragement was a driving force in my college life, and thanks to your positivity, I overcame an initial crisis in my first year, created my self-design major, experienced a crazy study abroad program, relaunched ISA, finished my IS, and survived my life-changing, crazy college experience. Thank you very much for being such a caregiver and encourager. Please know that what you do for students at Wooster is much more impactful than you could ever know. Now you are my best tea friend and life mentor, which I appreciate so much. I can't wait to have you in Japan and in Malaysia, where my orangutans are waiting for you. I appreciate you." And lastly, but certainly not in the least, Zoe Bills. Zoe is stoled today by Nicole Jones. Zoe says, "For as long as I can remember, my mom has embodied the phrase, 'making lemons out of lemonade.' By that, I mean that throughout my entire life, she has taken so-called struggles and helped me whisk them around and turn them into something sweet. She has taught me resiliency and faith, and those traits are what have allowed me to have a successful 4 years here. From driving me to visit colleges in different states, to proofreading my essays at midnight, and sending me groceries when I was sure I could not take one more unseasoned Lowry meal. My mom has been a rock that has helped me make the best of my time as an undergrad. As a Black FGLI student in Wooster, it is easy to feel as if you are somehow lesser than, but my mother has never let imposter syndrome steal my shine. She tells me often to never forget that I am not only adequate, but that I am exceptional. I am grateful to my mom for being a constant reminder that I can do all things through God who strengthens me, and that no weapon formed against me shall prosper. Amen. This degree is a result of the care, prayers, support, and tough love that my mom and my family have poured into me. Thank you for inspiring and loving on me, Mama. We made it. Let's give one more hand of thanks for our 56 graduates. thank you all so much, and thanks to your incredible stolers, those who are here and tuning in from elsewhere. I now have the pleasure of introducing our speaker. Yuta Nitanai is a graduating international senior from Tokyo, Japan. Yuta created a self-design major, global citizenship, and social entrepreneurship. Yuta is passionate about getting to know people's stories and connecting with people on a deeper level. He has had a number of leadership roles on campus, including being the president of the International Student Association. It has been a joy to work with him and to watch him grow as a person and as a leader. I have no doubt that he will be successful, as will all of our graduates, wherever in the world that he goes and moves into this new chapter in life. Come on up, Yuta.
Good evening, everyone. Thanks, Kayla, for giving me this opportunity today to talk. I really enjoyed everyone's story. It's just so amazing to have a stoller here and sharing a moment to appreciate everyone who contributed to our life here at Wooster. My mom just flew here from Japan yesterday. She doesn't speak English at all, but she wants to communicate with others while she's here. Seeing her make an effort to interact with others reminded me of myself in my first year here. It helps me realize that I've come a long way in the past 4 years here. I believe many of us here are feeling the similar way. It's been 4 years for almost all of us since we came into this Wooster bubble in Ohio. How have you changed? What have you learned? Who has helped you learn and grow? Growing up and learning in this community, diverse community, may not be comfortable at all time. We all have dealt with and overcome various struggles over the last 4 years. It's been more than a year since our lifestyles were forced to change dramatically. Since COVID's hit, not being able to stop by my professors' and staff's offices is really tough for me and likely for all of us. However, the pandemic has given us various challenges to rise up to, and for me, I was reminded of the importance of intentionality in communication. Since professors and staff are not on campus, we needed to make an appointment to stop by the office. I realized how precious the in-person communication that I used to have on a daily basis is. This experience encouraged me to show how much I appreciate the little things and the big things in my life. One of the big things is recognizing how many important individuals in my life more. What we have right now that we maybe take for granted, such as close friends, family, professors, staff, and the random people you talked with in Lowry, are all precious and impactful in our lives. COVID reminded me that life is uncertain all of the time, not just in this season. So I have realized how important it is for me to show my appreciation to the people who matter. I can't express enough appreciation for my friends, staff, professor, and precious advisors who all supported me academically and mentally over the last 4 years. Especially during my senior year, I struggled a lot with my senior IS, and it was not an easy year for me, and probably not for all of us. My close friends helped me a lot. We shared a lot of meals and conversations because we care about each other. The whole point of this stoling ceremony is to show your appreciation to someone who's significantly impacted your life at Wooster. I believe there may be some people who have improved your college experience or brightened your life in some capacity who have yet to hear how you appreciate them. I would encourage you all to express that appreciation before you leave here. Tomorrow, we graduate from Wooster. and I imagine it will be a turning point for all of us. It is the end of your college career, but of course, life goes on. This is the end of your college life, but this is just the beginning of a new chapter as well. Good luck in your next chapter of your life journey. Go Scots. Thank you.
Thank you, Utah. I don't know about you, but I was crying up there and was trying to hold it together as much as I could. My cheeks hurt from smiling, even though you can't see it, so I was smizing. You know, anybody who watches America's Next Top Model knows it's smizing. All right, so I'd like to say congratulations to all of our graduates. Few reminders, and then we're gonna close out. You have commencement rehearsal at 6 p.m. At the Calc Arch, so please make sure you are there. It's very important. There's also a barbecue that's taking place in Lowry for the graduates, so please make sure that you go and partake in the barbecue. And along with your rehearsal, there is a champagne toast that will take place for graduates, so make sure you're there for the champagne toast. Okay. All right. So I just wanted to make sure y'all got that. And then you all know what time you got to be there for tomorrow, correct? All right. Yes, I'm ready to go. All right. All right. Okay. So it gives me so much joy to celebrate this very special class. I'd like to take a moment to just acknowledge all of the mothers, mothers-to-be, grandmothers, mother-like figures, and of course, fur mommies. Yes, because we love our fur babies. On this Mother's Day weekend, mothers who are able, if you could please stand so that we could take this time to acknowledge you and celebrate your unconditional love. Thank you for all that you do. I'd like to also take this time to thank our planning committee that was led by Kayla Campbell, the CDEIO program coordinator. If you know Kayla, you know she's a rock star and she doesn't do anything halfway, so she made sure this was perfect, and so thank you, Kayla. Also, thank you to all of the planning committee and volunteers. We thank you for your time. Also, a special thank you is extended to Aaron Guzman, who stepped in literally at the very 9th hour today because we had to make some changes. So thank you, Aaron, so much for your time and for stepping in. So throughout your time at Wooster, you have learned the power of your voice and activism. You've challenged the systems at Wooster along with the systems of injustice and racism around the world. I am thankful for the leadership displayed by the class of 2021. I am sure your families, your friends, your professors, and administrators are as proud of you as well. Humanity gets better when we are challenged to think things through and work to improve the way things exist in the world. We each deserve to live in a world that makes us happy and where we feel safe to be our authentic selves. While there is still much work to be done in order to achieve this goal, we are on our way simply because we have people like the class of 2021 on the forefront of this change. You are destined for greatness. The world shall watch out because Wooster scholars are going to make a difference in this world. I am thankful I was able to be a part of this journey with you. I leave you with a poem by Latinx poet Dr. Tino Villanova titled, "You, If No One Else." Listen, you transformed your anguish into healthy awareness. Put your voice where your memory is. You were swallowed the afternoon dust. Defend everything you understand with words. You, if no one else, will condemn with your tongue the erosion each disappointment brings. You who saw the images of disgust growing will understand how the time devours the destitute. You who gave yourself your own commandments, you better than anyone, why you turned your back on your town's toughest limits. Don't hush. Don't throw away the most persistent truth, as our hard-headed brethren sometimes do. Remember well with your life was like cloudiness and slick mud after a drizzle. Flimsy windows the wind kept rattling in winter, and that unheated slab dwelling where coldness crawled up in your clothes. Tell how you were able to come to this point, to unbar history's door, to see your early years, your people, the others. Name the way rebellion's calm spirit has served you, and how you've come to unlearn the lessons of that teacher, your land's omnipotent defouler. Congratulations, class of 2021, and thank you.